All right, here he is.
So, price of fame. What is the price of fame? Is it worth it?
Nah.
What do you mean no?
Nah, not at all. Yeah, nah, not at all. It's definitely not worth it.
What do you mean not worth it?
It's not worth it.
What's not worth it?
Price of fame. I feel like with fame comes a lot of discomfort. It comes a lot of aggravation. It comes a lot of unwanted attention. It's definitely not worth it. But I think it's a trade-off. I think what come with that, you feel me, is power. Is, you feel me, the access. Shit, maybe it's worth it. It depends. If it just happened to happen, I ain't finna do the most for it, you know.
A wise older man who passed away a few years ago once told me, if you walk into a room and you have to introduce yourself to the people in the room, you have no power in the room.
Right.
When you're famous, you walk in a room, everybody knows who you are. They know if they want to interact with you or not. So that sorting is already done. If somebody can, you know, like, I'm going to get you a deal or I want to try to make money with, like, they already know, like, you know what I mean? You don't have to.
But I think with that comes either a negative or positive opinion based off of somebody I never even met. You feel me? Like,
oh, absolutely.
I think what comes with that is not just I know this person's name, is I already have an idea formulated about them before I even meet them.
Yeah.
Which I feel like people are going to prejudge you anyway, but I think it's just worse when people have heard something or they feel like they heard something or might know something or might interpret your lyric a certain way.
But you have shaped the image that you want them to have. Right? Like, I just met you, so I don't know who you are away from all this or who you were if I had met you 10 years ago or 5 years ago. But, like, you have shaped an image of you in my mind. You walk in the room, I'm like, I already have a impression of who you're going to be, right? Like if you don't know me, you might have an impression, but I didn't shape my, right? So you can shape your image.
In a way, yeah. I think music gives us that freedom to let out our personalities, our innermost feelings and thoughts and shit like that. But I think what's kind of messed up about it is when you make music or you make art from a place of truth, like, a lot of times people will know you better than they're supposed to, even. Like, like, say you go in the studio and you say something and you let your truth out because it's cathartic, because you felt a type of way one day. Now, one moment of how you felt one single day and one particular time when you decided to cut this record is what you're gonna live with forever. Like, so if you on your worst day made a record about the worst day you was having, like, people gonna think you the worst day nigga. Like, you're the guy with the bad day. You feel me?
Ice Cube is forever triple-double on the court.
Good day.
I'm not happy every day, but
good day.
But what is that for you? What did you say on the record that you're like, that was just how I was feeling that day?
I mean, it could be anything, man. It could be like, I'm trying to think of some shit that I done said on the record. What's one of the ones that people tend to just love to just keep going back to? I had this one lyric I wrote on the song Cloud that I said, all my bitches know I'm leaving at some point, whether it's a reason or not. That's just how I felt that day. You know what I'm saying? That ain't no like,
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, that's you terrible, you off. I'm like, nah, that's just how I felt that day. Like, I ain't fucking with show you. So on the record, like, they all know I'm leaving at some point, whether it's a reason or not. I'm up out there. That shit stuck. But once it's there, what's up there is stuck there. I can't get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? Once I wrote that there and it sounds good and I like how it sounds, I'm not gonna go back and change it.
A girl said to me, he's the toxic king of R&B.
Yeah,
that's what they're talking about. Yeah, that shit.
Yeah, that's terrible. Sometimes I just record and make music when I get inspired, and I happen to get inspired when I'm in a certain type of headspace. So that's all that really is.
What is that space?
I guess it's when it could be out of excitement, it could be out of frustration, it could be out of just like a mood. Like when I'm emotionally drawn to get on the mic and speak on something. But that don't mean that's how I'm feeling every day. That's like
you want that feeling first.
Yeah.
More than a lyric or a melody comes to me. It's a feeling that comes to me, and then I follow the feeling.
Right. Yeah. It's a feeling. It's a mood. It's like, I'm to the like since the first time I started making music, because I started recording when I was like 11. It was just cathartic. So more than anything, like I don't have a therapist. I don't have no like people I talk. So I just go to the studio. That helps me get everything out. So then I'm just walking around like, man, I'm healthy. I'm glad I got that out. But people are getting those confessions essentially.
Yeah. Tell me your creative process. Wasteland. How you go about making records?
Well, working on the project was real. It's real unorthodox, mad unorganized. I kind of just get in the studio when I get those creative spurts. Sometimes I might cut like 4 or 5 records in a week, and other times I might go in the studio every single day for 2 months and not make nothing. A lot of conversation. Sometimes I'll get in the studio and I'm just talking to the producers and my engineer for like hours. We don't even get nothing done. Sometimes I'm just watching TV. Sometimes I have some freaks come through. Sometimes it's really just like whatever. Like I wish there was a way I could kind of pinpoint what it is that makes me make songs, because I'd make a lot more songs.
Sure.
Yeah, but I don't really know what it is.
But you get that feeling. Let's say you got that feeling. Mm-hmm. So then what?
Yeah, and it could be family issues. It could be a breakup. It could be anything that just creatively when you whether you're a writer or you an athlete, something that make you go hard, something that trigger you, man. Like, you know what? I'm finna really just go off. Put in the studio. So then after that, sometimes I freestyle. I'll just go in the booth, or I'll make something where I'll play some chords and just freestyle the whole record. Other times I might write it while I'm on my free time and then go into the studio and find a way to put on the record. It's no real like one size fits all type of thing.
Always different.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me though that you can freestyle a song like that. Like just feel that vibe, hear the music, and just start.
Yeah. Yeah, got to, man. I feel like sometimes the paper slow you down. Like, I can't even write this. I just got to go ahead and say it. And sometimes it'd be like a lot of the little nuances and the colloquialisms that come when you freestyle it versus when you write it down. Like, you might say it like you talking to somebody versus like you want somebody to read it.
People have said to me before, if you don't write it down, then it will fit with the music better.
Mm-hmm. At times, yeah. And then certain times, like when you write them, they come out a little more well thought out.
If you write it down.
Yeah.
Because you take the time to really look at it.
Yeah. I say more shit that I wouldn't say when I freestyle it versus if I wrote it. Because when I write it, I'll get time to erase and think like, damn, I might not want to say that.
Right.
Yeah. But sometimes the mistakes or them little times where you just shooting from the hip is when you get the things that stick with people.
But it's the shit that you're like, that you write and you're like, wow, I'm a little afraid for that to come out.
Yeah.
That's the shit you got to put out.
For real, every time. That be the shit that people love. And that's the real shit. Like the simple fact that you're afraid to put it out mean that when somebody hears it for the first time, it's gonna register.
So you started 11, 12, but when was the first time you were like, oh, I'm actually good at this? Like I could do this.
I always liked it. Like I always just enjoyed making music. But I think it wasn't until I got maybe around like high school, like I started getting really good. Like I started being able to make anything I heard. Like I could hear something and I'm able to make a beat that sound just like some shit that I just heard. Or so like I was kind of able to pick records apart. That was the first thing. Like damn, I could pick that apart and find out everything that was in there and make that shit. And then I just started making shit that sounded like my favorite shit. I was making beats and it sounded like I was Ye or like it was a Drake and 40 beat or like this when I was like 14, you know what I'm saying? So then from there I'm just like, man, let me just put out these tapes, apply that shit to my own shit. Man, I just got better at it. I was rapping before I was singing though. I didn't want to be no singer.
You wanted to be a rapper.
Yeah.
Why did you move from rapping to singing?
It was easier.
Singing is easier?
Yeah, that shit was mad easy because when you rap, you have to fill the page up with so many lyrics.
It's a lot more words.
Yeah, it's mad words, and I didn't like physically just having to sit there and write all day just to get one verse out. So when you sing, you can stretch it out. It's less syllables.
That's a lot less words. Yeah. So that is the easier part.
Yeah.
But the delivery, because singing is complicated. Rapping is complicated as fuck, but singing is very complicated.
I find singing pretty easy.
Okay.
I'm gonna be real with you. It's something that really come natural. But I'm also not one of them singers that's focused on being the best vocalist in the world. Like that was never my goal.
You don't have to be the best vocalist if you make us feel something.
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, you got plenty of singers who technically wasn't like everybody not Whitney Houston. Bob Marley wasn't Whitney Houston. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like if the fact that it resonates and people feel what you're talking about, that's like you can't deny that.
See, I think about Whitney Houston a lot because she is perhaps the greatest technical, gifted singer that in our lifetime.
Right.
And I revere Whitney Houston, but Nina Simone hits me harder. Bob Marley hits me harder.
And I think what comes with having a beautiful voice, like somebody like Whitney Houston, is she wasn't able to lyrically sing about the things that she was really going through. You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes people, like when they hear a beautiful voice and something that's so pitch perfect, they don't really see the human in you no more. So I like being able to just sing about the nitty gritty because that's, to me, it's like, man, I'm glad I got that shit out.
When you were a teenager in your Ye period, your Kanye period, which Kanye were you like, this is the shit to me?
Well, all of them was heat. I ain't gonna hold you. Like I was a Kanye fan from when College Dropout came out up until Life of Pablo, to like the whole shit. I liked everything. But when I was a kid, it was Late Registration for me. And I think it was 2010, 2011. So I was about 14, 15 when My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy came out. And that like kind of shaped my musical perspective.
Okay. See, a lot of people who are artists now talk about 808s and heartbreak.
I ain't like that shit at all.
Really?
Nah, when I was young, I was just kind of like, I'm not feeling this shit. Like, bro, what a rap set. Like,
I think you got to get your heart broken to understand that record.
Yeah, I was too young to feel that shit. I was like, bro, what is all this?
But you understand it now.
Yeah, and I'm understanding now how innovative it was too.
Yeah,
like,
I think that album shaped a lot of current MCs and singers and producers, perhaps more than any of his other. I think it had more of an impact on people who became creators than civilians.
Yeah, it was one of them.
But My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is one of the greatest albums of the last 20 years.
I love that shit. That shit is like Sinatra meets Pac. Like that shit is very it's bold but still very elegant.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of, you could tell he was just kind of just venting his thoughts because the shit really like, you can't really take a lot of that shit and be like, man, I relate to this shit word for word.
Yeah.
He's just telling you how he feel, but it's kind of being shown to you like it's a movie.
I wasn't even really that into Rick Ross that tough until I heard him on that album.
Fucking snapped on that shit.
And then I was like, oh, now I understand you and your voice and how great you are and the whole movement.
That's one of the best features ever. That's one of the hardest verses of all time.
Yeah. I mean, so much of that album. What do you love about being a singer?
I can't really tell you what I love about being a singer specifically. I don't really love singing. Like I like being an artist. I like creating music. I don't love singing. I'm not one of them people that just get up and just want to sing, or like I just want to sing for people or no shit like that. Like I don't have some like, I don't get no like overwhelming joy from just singing songs and shit. I wish I did. I'd probably be like way better if I did, but I really don't.
Your overwhelming joy is in the creativity?
Yeah, it's the process. It's writing. It's formulating the whole song.
So you like the writing, producing, that stuff more than the singing?
Yeah, I like harmonies though. I like being able to like to layer my voice and make it sound big. I like that.
Would you be happier as a producer? So you're just making and you don't have to be super famous and like...
Nah. I think I like the as much as we are, because we all complain about the fame and shit, right? That's what everybody do. We all love this bullshit. We do. Like, we all love this shit. Like, you like going to the club and you feel me? The chicks is like, oh my God, I just love you so much. Can I take a picture? Can I suck your dick? Like, everybody fucking loves that shit. Let's be real. It come with bullshit, but you know everybody, niggas love to complain like, man, I fucking hate this shit, bro. We all fucking love this shit. That's a fact. My ego wouldn't allow me to like sit in the background, bro. I love this shit. So I think that's what I love about singing, man. Keep it real.
That you get to be famous.
Yeah, that type
even
of shit.
though you act like you don't like it.
Yeah, the good, the
really
bad,
do.
the ugly, like, I'll take it, man. You feel me? If that's the cards you dealt, fuck it.
What's the difference between a good singer and a great singer?
I wish I knew. Like, I wish I don't know, bro. Like,
You're hysterical.
It's funny. Like, there are a lot of people that are technically amazing singers, right? That, you feel me? Like incredible. Like, could be the next whoever, bro. But sing for change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then there's motherfuckers that really can't sing that good, that auto tune all they shit. That, you feel me? And then motherfuckers is selling out arenas. So I think the difference between a good singer and a great singer is the right song.
I do think about that like, if you put anonymous Britney Spears on something like American Idol or The Voice or whatever, she wouldn't win. But you put her with the right record, with the right outfit, in the right video, she's to the moon.
And it just makes sense. It's a whole formula.
Because she can sell a record, but just basic. And I'm not picking on her, MC Hammer. He ain't winning no contest, but he blew up and for his time.
It's fools out here that could rap circles around Jay-Z that nobody's ever heard of and nobody's ever gonna hear about.
Well, I think you went a little far right there.
No, it's facts. Jay-Z's one of the most talented rappers of all time. But it's the same way there's Jay-Z, there's another Jay-Z. Like, let's be real. Like, there's the same way there's somebody that's the most talented. There's somebody that probably sang better than Whitney Houston at some point that nobody's ever heard of. She's in some random church anywhere, like, you know what I'm saying? Let's be real. It's probably some random nigga in Harlem that can rap better than Jay-Z.
I believe...
And probably tells niggas that he rap better than Jay-Z and niggas don't believe him.
I believe that there is a singer who could outsing Whitney in some Mississippi or California church somewhere. I believe that. Do I think there's somebody in Brooklyn, Harlem, DC, whatever?
You think some nigga in jail somewhere that's rap all day, every day that can out-rap Jay-Z? That's been sitting there writing raps for fucking 30 years, as long as he been behind bars?
I don't know.
It definitely is.
I don't know.
That you feel me? That really rap. That been rapping all fucking day, every day for 30 fucking years. That's all they do.
I don't know.
I think it's timing though. I think it's timing. I think it's having the right team. I think it's having the right vision, the right mentality. It's a lot of things that make you feel me?
The image. The Hell yeah. You love Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate. She's one of your big influences.
Yeah.
What do you take from her?
I like her approach to the music industry. Like, aside from the music, everybody knows she's super talented, but I like that she mind her business. Like, she really just like, I make music, you feel me? I got classic bodies of work and I still live my life. I love that shit. I like the human. I'm
not controlled by this industry
at all.
I do what I want to do. See, a lot of people get mad at her showing up late for shows. I'm like, y'all don't understand. She got 5 kids. She got a life. Like, you should be happy she coming out for y'all.
Don't owe y'all nothing. Like, don't owe y'all nothing.
She doesn't. And if you know she's gonna be late, how are you complaining about it?
For real.
You knew she was gonna be late.
And still buy the tickets. Like, hey, she may or may not come, but I'm finna buy these tickets and see what's up. That's love.
So Alicia Keys, you got her to rhyme.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I asked her.
You asked her to rap?
Yeah, I was like, yo, I got this record I want you on. I want you to get some bars up there. I want you to rap on it. She was
Wait,
like,
what
cool.
made you even think that she could rap?
Man, you ain't hear her voice on You Don't Know My Name? On the, you feel me, when she had the phone call with Mos Def?
Yeah.
Like, I make your coffee with milk and all that shit. Of course. But you heard our voice sound on that. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking like, man, like her natural speaking voice is so sultry, I just want to hear her rap on a record. Like, as much of an Alicia Keys fan I am, I was just like, man, I just would love to hear her rap.
So what was that conversation? Was that in the studio when you presented the idea?
Yeah, I played her, the record that I had. I played her like the idea I had for it, and she was just like, "Cool, let's do it."
She just said yes right away.
Yeah.
And did she get the rap right away, or did it take a minute to get the pocket?
It took a little bit, but not too long. Not really. She like in a couple takes she had it type shit.
You had to be like, "Yo, we just did some shit that nobody else has."
Yeah. Definitely, that's what I was thinking. Swiss was in there and shit. I'm like, damn. We was hype, man.
I mean, not anybody. A lot of people could have Alicia come and sing on their record, but when you hear, yo, she's rapping on the record, like, I gotta check this out. I gotta see what this is.
Yeah, hell yeah. We all know Alicia Keys can sing. Alicia Keys can sing her ass off, but I just wanted to hear her rap.
Tyler, the creator, is on this. He's one of my favorite MCs of today.
Yeah.
Talk about being in the studio with him.
He one of them super creative dudes, man. Like I think he like lives, eats, sleeps, and breathes just like music and just finding different ways to approach a record and to approach creativity in general. So he's one of the only artists that I really get in the studio and I take something from every time I get in with him type shit. Like
what have you taken from him?
Just I take his lead, man. He'd be like, man, sing it like this. I'm like, cool. Like he'd be like and for somebody that he's not a singer at all by any means, but I'm telling you, if this motherfucker could sing, bro, shit, be a rap for a lot of niggas. If Tyler the Creator could sing, bro, it'd be a rap for a lot of niggas.
The depth of his voice is so ill. Anything he says,
for real, that's what makes him an amazing rapper. But his ear for vocal arrangement in general, like if that's what I'm saying, if he wanted to sing, he'd be crazy. Like if he could sing like that. His ear for harmonies and for arrangement and for finding different pockets to get into is perfect.
So how'd you get Drake on the record?
We've been going back and forth about doing some shit for a little minute. So once I had the record I thought that he sounded right on, I just hit him like, bro, you trying to put a verse on this shit? He sent it back like next day.
Oh, word, you emailed it to him?
Yeah, I just texted him a joint. Like, cool, this hard. I'm finna send this shit right back. It wasn't even like 24 hours.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. I would imagine he would probably be the hardest person to get on your record just because of the size of his career. Everybody's hitting him up like, please, help me out.
Nah, man, it'd be like, it's everything be pretty natural for real, like. But these are all people I've been kind of, just been speaking with or met or had correspondence with long before we actually did any music type shit.
So there's a friendship.
Yeah, like I don't like this is people that just respect the music, respect what I do, and it's like a mutual respect and appreciation. So everything be moving pretty swift, pretty quick. Like they send me shit, I cut to their shit, and we'll have records together that don't never come out, but we just send music back and forth all the time.
See, it's cool that you're like, here's my album, and I included some of my friends. Not like label hook me up with so and so because he's hot and I'm hot, but I don't know dude or I just met dude. But like these are my people.
Ain't no label. Like I'm not signed to no label. So a lot of when I do collaborations, it's really just off the muscle. Like I just go in, meet people when they fuck with me, or I fuck with them, and we just make a record type shit.
So wait, so you don't have a label?
Lost Kids, that's the label. It's my label.
So you're so wait a minute. So there's no advance.
Nah.
But you're making a lot more than the average artist is.
Yeah.
Because the average artist is making whatever.
But that's why people got to put out so much music though, and so many artists got to do so many shows.
Right.
That's like everything.
Right. And so do you have a songwriting deal? You own that too?
I got a publishing deal. Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah, I own my publishing though. Yeah.
You own your publishing.
Yes, indeed.
How did you come up to understand to own and control all your shit? Because nobody gets this far owning all this shit. That's
my business partner, man. That's Ty Bazin. You feel me? It's like having big homies around that give you, hey man, you got some talent. This is what you need to do. Like, I'm like, all right, cool. Like initially coming out, I just wanted to be a nigga that was the nigga. You feel me? I just wanted to be popping and be signed and pop bottles and shit. I wasn't thinking like, I want to own my shit long term.
Right.
But then like I'm starting to really peep like how my creative process is and how much I like controlling my shit and my narrative. in my imagery and everything involving the music. So I don't think I could ever be anything but independent because I like really, I'm really picky about shit and I say no to a lot of shit.
Did anybody ever offer you a check that made you go, maybe?
No, not really. I mean, they tried. Motherfuckers be in spots like, man, what if, I'm in the club, even motherfuckers from the label, like, what if I offered you 10 million right now? I'm laughing like, bro, what the fuck is 10 million? Like type of shit. Like, what are you talking about right now?
$10 million check does not move you.
No, not at all. No.
That's incredible.
I think it's pretty cool, man.
That's because your principles are where they are and your desire to be independent, or we got that. We good.
That ain't like it don't move me. Like we Indian, we push units. It's like when people talk numbers, it's like you gotta come a little higher than that, bro. Like that ain't.
I mean,
but even I wouldn't sign a deal no way. But it's just when people offer me certain shit and people talk numbers, it makes me think even more. Like, damn, like you really don't know. Like
one artist who sold maybe 100 million records told me the label owes me between $5 and $10 million.
They don't pay niggas.
Wait, first of all, that is a gigantic differential. Mm-hmm. Like I know you owe me $5,000, not like. It's somewhere between 5 and 20.
They don't pay niggas. I done did collabs with artists that sign labels still owe me money. They don't pay niggas.
Right.
They don't pay producers. They don't pay nobody.
Right.
Everybody in the game right now that's signed to a label or that has done something with a label will tell you that the label owe them money.
Of course.
They don't pay nobody.
Of course. Somebody told me it's like somebody pays you and then the label tells you this is how much your check is. And we're gonna get so you don't actually see your paycheck. You gotta go on what they told you it is.
Bro, and then on top of that, you got like a whole team of motherfuckers, you feel me, that's got the backstage passes that be at your shows that you ain't never fucking met, but still like got your album and all that shit in their bio, like, yeah, we worked on this, but really was never in the sessions, didn't book the studio time, didn't press out no CDs. So it ain't like it's 1996, so you had to pay for all these CDs to get put on the shelf. It's like now it's like, how the fuck you got your label making 80% of your music? And you got into the studio with your mans and recorded this at your fucking house. And then they put it on a digital streaming platform. So they don't even have to press out no CDs, no vinyls, no nothing. What the fuck are they getting paid for?
Wait, you recorded your house?
Yeah.
You have a whole thing, a whole studio at your house?
Or I book studio time. But like I work at No ID Studio a lot. Just depending on, or Raphael Sadiq, depending on who I'm working with.
But in the world of streaming, is it easier to be independent because you don't have to worry about pressing up so many CDs?
Ain't nobody pressing up CDs no more anyway.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
It ain't like you might as well be independent, but I think a lot of people, a lot of times it really just depends on your situation. I can't speak for nobody that did a deal just because I didn't have to do one. Like depending on like how you came up or who around you, you need that money right now. Like you don't got time to wait. I was down bad for a little bit, but still being popping though, you know? It took a while for money actually really started rolling in like that.
See, that's the shitty part of fame. When you don't have money, but you have recognition.
Yeah. It don't make sense for a little bit. It's like, I'm confused.
But that's starting a business. That you had to spend money, invest in yourself.
Yeah.
For a period of time, the money was in the business. I don't really have that much.
Yeah.
And then it came back to you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, you know, but that's not a part of the culture though. We've never embraced that part of starting a business. Like that's not a part of our culture. That's not like a black thing. Like, hey, we finna be popping and be broke. Niggas think the moment you on a hit record or you on the radio, like you should be making millions of dollars. Where your chain at? Where your car at? What you buy? What kind of house you live in? So the actual process of starting a business from beginning to end isn't really something a lot of us are too familiar with.
What did you buy when you were like, okay, I got it now?
I don't really buy a whole lot of shit for real. I do dumb shit. I still gotta stop doing. Like I'll get like different apartments in different cities type shit. Like just dumb shit. Like
just for you, or you rent them out?
Just for me. Like my financial advisor's like, bro, that's stupid. Why don't you just buy some shit? I'll fuck around and get an apartment in New York, an apartment in LA, an apartment in Atlanta. Like
you have all that? Yeah,
just on some dumb shit. But I started like getting more into buying properties. Some stuff in Dallas, some stuff in. I just bought a spot in LA. Some stuff in Atlanta, stuff in North Carolina.
But I like that. It's funny that you seem so financially savvy, and you're like, your guy is telling you that's dumb, but you do it anyway.
Yeah, right. Right. Because I know I'm gonna listen, but let me just try this other shit first. Because it's still convenient for me to. It's still to me more financially responsible to pay rent in a place I know where I'm gonna spend time at versus get a hotel.
Sure.
Until I find something I want to buy.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So it's unorthodox, but it's like I feel like this life is unorthodox, so I might as well just get different apartments and shit like that.
I'm not mad at you though. Everybody who comes on the show, I talk to them about what it means to be black and where it shows up in the work. And your work is very black.
Hell yeah.
But like, what does it mean to you to be black, and how does it come into the music?
For starters, I feel like as black creatives, we don't have the luxury of creating for the sake of creating, right? Like I feel like white artists and shit get that freedom to just make some shit, and you ask them what it means, and motherfuckers just be like, yeah, you know, I was just making music, dude. Like we can't do no shit like that. Because motherfuckers gonna be like, what does this mean? What are you trying to represent? What do you want to portray?
And we gotta represent something.
Always, every time. Like that's not, no, we can't just create for the sake of creating. So it's because of that I make sure that my work has meaning to it. I make sure that people understand, in general, shit, first and foremost, what it means to be a black creative, what it means to own your shit, the process in which it takes, you feel me, to go from A to B, accomplishing your goals. Like,
but wait, what do you represent? Like, you like, we got to represent something, and I can think about like, you know, here's what Kanye stands for, here's what Jay-Z stands. What do you stand for?
I think that you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. You don't have to take it no particular route. You don't have to dress no particular way. You don't got to try to impress nobody. You can just make shit that you think is cool with people that you enjoy working with, and take over the fucking world. I think you can do whatever you want to do. You can be whatever the fuck you want to be. I got this one record that I put on Lost. I said, tell the youth the future's on your shoulders. You can be what you want when you get older. Or you can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
When I think about it, I think a lot about the tribe that we are a part of and how I feel very tangibly, I'm sure you do, that I can feel the shoulders that I'm standing on for me to be here and have these opportunities, right? Because my father did not have these, and his father definitely did not have these opportunities, right? You have opportunities your parents didn't have, your grandparents couldn't imagine.
It's because of them, though.
Yeah, it's absolutely because of them. But musically, who are some of the people who you feel like I'm standing on, not that you're better than, but I'm standing on his and her shoulders. I'm here having this life, this career, because this person and this person
paved
showed
the way.
Showed me the way, yeah.
Shit. Mike.
Michael Jackson.
Hell yeah. Mike. Jodeci. Shit. Bobby Brown. I was watching a Bobby Brown movie the other day. I was like, bruh, this nigga living my fucking life. That shit is so crazy. Like, and this years ago, you feel me? I'm looking at the movie and seeing how he's approaching his music and that he really want to get, you feel me, his personal identity out in these songs, but everybody want to push it a certain type of way. I'm like, bruh, this nigga living my whole fucking life. Like, everybody. I feel like every black creative, everybody black and famous period has the same experience to an extent.
Which is what?
Which is having to move in these two worlds. It's having to make sure you keep it real to yourself, make sure you keep it true to yourself, and making sure you keep it real all the way across the board.
Keep it real. So you have to keep, you're talking about keeping it real to yourself and keeping it real to black people.
Absolutely.
That you have to be in harmony with them and with yourself.
Absolutely. Hell definitely, yeah. For damn sure.
But you get...
Because the moment, you feel me, like how you feeling kind of conflicts with everybody as a whole, you thinking some wrong shit. Because at the end of the day, you don't do this shit just for you. This ain't just for you. This ain't just some personal shit. You the one on the forefront, like, hey, I'm singing songs and I'm doing me, but like at the end of the day, this shit is not for you. This shit is God-given.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes you run into that conflict because what? White people are saying, well, if you
I don't care about that shit. I don't ever really care about white people say I got like about about black music. Like I don't give a fuck about that shit. But I for damn sure got to keep this shit real. At the end of the day, man, like no matter what the fuck, like say I go to Fashion Week, right, and I see the wild, I'm like, man, this is the new style. You feel me? And I go back to the barbershop and I can't wear that shit. That ain't the shit. Because at the end of the day, this is where I came from. You feel me? These niggas say, hey, man, you tweaking, you on some shit? Psh, man, I'm tweaking, I'm on some shit. I'm not rocking like that. At the end of the day, no matter how much shit or how much of the world I see or I'm introduced to, you feel me? It's still like a certain pedigree I'm cut from. And then at the same time, like, if it's like certain shit that I'm introduced to that, man, this shit changed my life, I gotta put y'all on some shit, I'll do the same thing. I'd be like, hey, bro, like, I was at boom, boom. Y'all ever tried, y'all ever ate this? Y'all ever had that? Boom, boom. Put homies on some shit. Niggas like, bro, this shit crazy. Like, I feel like with that comes that, like, you feel me? The merging of two worlds. But you can't never get too Hollywood.
What's the best, in terms of music, the best advice you ever got?
Best advice I ever got. I'm trying to think. I was working with The Dream, and this kind of shaped my whole shit, right? Initially, when I first started making music, I made like traditional R&B sounds because I thought that was the only way it could be done. Okay. Right? I thought you made it in this way or about these particular topics. You did the chorus, you did the verse, then you did the bridge, and that's just how it went. That was the only way to do it. I got in the studio with The Dream. This might have been like 2018. And he started freestyling and shit. I played this beat. He started freestyling and he just saying shit, like just all type of random shit that I would think in conversation but would never put on a record because I sing, I can't say that. And so he was just like, bro, like, you could say whatever the fuck you want to say, bro. Like, your voice sound good, it's gonna work. So I was just like, that shit changed my whole perspective. I'm like, you mean to tell me like these journal entries and shit that I got that I would never put on a record, I can just put this on the song? He like, yeah, nigga, like, you sing good, it'll work. That shit changed everything. I started just really singing about how I felt. That shit started going crazy.
So The Dream gave you the freedom to say whatever.
Bro, unlock that whole shit, man. I was like, wait, you telling me I could say whatever? Like, he's like, yeah, nigga, just go ahead and say that shit. Like, cool.
It's interesting because a lot of creative people, I've had that same experience. A lot of creative people had that experience of somebody who's further along the road as a creator is like, you could say anything. You could be your real self.
Yeah.
And you're like, really? And you try it and it works and it's like, well, this is great.
Yeah. But it takes somebody who's so accomplished to tell you that you thinking too fucking hard. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought I was making what I thought was a formulaic hit record. I thought that I was following the structure and I worked so hard to find a specific way to do this. And then bro just came and kind of shattered that whole shit. Like, nah, nigga, you can just say the shit you've been wanting to say.
So is there anything you're afraid to say?
Nah. Not while I'm singing it.
Yes, that's what I meant. That's definitely
if I sing it, it'll work. Fuck it. As long as I sing it.
Because when I'm singing it, I am taking some of the sting out of it.
Yeah.
So I can it's art.
Yeah, and what I find like to be the most, when you ask, now that I think about it, what I like most about singing, because I didn't really have an answer for it when you first asked me that. What I like most about singing is the ability to make your thoughts and your story and your feelings palatable for anybody, like from any other walk of life. You feel me? Like I could say some shit and I say some real nigga shit and only niggas gonna feel me, but I sing it and like me singing about how I'm feeling, about how the homies feeling, about how everybody feeling. Now like the whole world is gonna stop and listen to some real nigga shit. You feel me? Because it sound good to them, it's palatable to them, just like a Whitney Houston record would be.
Sure.
But you hearing about some whole other shit. So I'm seeing it as power in being able to tell a story and make it universal.
But there's a lot of this shit you're like, if I just said this to you, that
wouldn't work. Yeah.
It would be wild.
Yeah.
But if I sing it, I could get away with it.
Yeah, hell yeah. You could sing some nut shit and that shit work, but you fuck around and say it and they be like, you fucking wild. For real.
What's some shit that you sang that you're like, yo, if I said this, people would be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But I sang it, so it worked.
Bro, it's line after line, man. That just becomes what I do at this point. You just be saying shit like, let me just sing some wild shit like. Starting records, like I got too many hoes. Like, when start a record, like I got too many hoes. Motherfuckers like, what? That's crazy. But to me, you know what's actually so crazy? I find oftentimes people, I guess the reverse of that can be if you say something it's regular, but if you sing it, it sounds crazy. So I could say some regular shit, like I'm talking to the homies, man, I got too many hoes, bro. Boom, boom. And niggas just like, man, that shit crazy. We just talking. But you sing it, and it's just like, what the fuck? Did you just sing that shit? I don't know.
So do you find yourself through the day, like you hear yourself think something or say something and be like, yeah, that's crazy. I need to sing that.
It more so stuff that I hadn't said, like stuff that's just kind of in my head, like thoughts. Most of the shit, like the crazy shit I would put on the record, I never actually said out loud or nothing. But that's another thing I peeped with Dream did. He kind of just go in there and just start singing shit in the booth. Like, I'm like, damn, that's a really hard process. Like, I kind of just adapted that.
So you saw him freestyling in the booth and copied that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's crazy.
Hell yeah.
What else did you take from him?
Really that. Because he a real nigga, bro. So we just be in the studio talking about all type of shit. Like, that's the homie. So when he fuck around and he start singing on a record, like the shit that we just talked about, he's able to like kind of like, when I'm working on a record and I'm stuck on something, he can finish my story for me because we just talked about it.
Right.
And he like with a quickness type shit. But it's I learned from everybody I work with though. Like I learned a lot of harmony shit from Tyler, and I learned a lot of controlling your own creative and your own production from Tyler. I learned from Sadiq to like how to keep shit classic. You feel me?
Okay. Well, how do you do that?
It's certain instruments that bring out certain emotions, right? So when you record on certain things or certain instrumental elements, they can bring out certain emotions where you don't even have to. Where I can kind of apply what I learned from Dream. Like, damn, like I don't have to sing something that's. If you were to see this written out, it wouldn't be classy, right? Like, this is some real like wild ass shit, right? But because I use this particular instrument or this particular chord or this particular string, while I said that shit, all of a sudden it made whatever I put on a record sound very elegant. So like I just learned like shit like that, like certain instruments that you can use to.
You make me think about it like, think about like Stevie Wonder like playing certain piano notes or keyboard notes, and that'll hit me here in my heart. Right. But then a bass will hit me here in the hip, right? You want to start dancing or whatever, you know, and a guitar will hit you differently emotionally. It's
that contrast, man. I started really enjoying like the idea of that movement, like approaching that record like a roller coaster, like a dance or something. Like, so it's like, wow, the bass is doing like this. You feel me? Like the whole time it's doing this, you got like some strings or some vocals that's doing like this. So wow, this is going up, this is moving around it, and it's doing that. And then you got a whole like string section that's going the other way and doing like that. And then you got some other shit that's going, so it's almost like some double helix type shit. Like, like to me, that shit just excites me more so than any particular part of the process. It's the whole thing coming together and being one thing.
It sounds like you can see the music.
Yeah, in a way, like type shit. Like it's like a feeling, like a rhythm.
Like synesthesia?
Not like, I wouldn't say literally. Not like like I'm physically seeing colors and shit like that.
Sees colors with sounds and these sorts of things, and
I say it's more like a feeling. It's like a goosebump or like a jolt type shit. That's why I can't really dance that good.
You can't dance?
No, I can't dance for shit. Like, I'm not a dancer. Because I'll fuck around, I'll be in the club or some shit, and motherfuckers be dancing and everybody doing one rhythm, but I'm dancing to the motherfucking guitar part. So I'm like this while I just can't dance.
A lot of people want to be able, like, they dance as a way to understand the record.
Yeah. I can't, I'm listening to some whole other part of the song. Like, so everybody dancing to one rhythm, but I hear the whole shit. So I'm dancing to the motherfucking shakers or to the snare or some shit. Dancing to the hi-hat, looking crazy.
So then you just would rather not dance at all?
Nah, I can't do it, man. I still dance sometimes and shit. I do a little jig or whatever, but I can't dance because I'll start hearing something that make me do another rhythm now.
So so if you're on stage, then what do you do? Because you're supposed to dance a little bit.
I mean, a little bit. I got like a little two-step. I ain't just like a non-dancing motherfucker. It ain't like I look crazy. Like I'm not Chris Brown or no shit like that.
No, Chris Brown is the great dancer.
Yeah, I'm not like, I ain't on that type of shit. Fuck no. But I can, you feel me? I do a little two-step, that type of shit.
You start working on the next one yet?
Yeah.
How far along
I started working on that while I was like halfway through this one.
How far along are you?
It's still early. It's still early in it, but shit, it's getting close. It's getting close. I feel like I'm just now starting to find a little rhythm. I'm probably gonna get in the studio tomorrow or something.
You think this year or next year?
Possibly this year.
Possibly this year.
It could be.
What is the vibe for the next one that's different than the vibe for Wasteland?
I haven't really found it yet.
Okay.
Like it'll probably shape up the further I get along in it. I'll be able to be like, ooh, like this the energy, this what it is, this the bounce. But as of right now, it's just a couple songs.
What is the vibe, the mood, the energy for Wasteland?
I think it's just very much a it's pretty self-explanatory shit. I mean, after Fuck the World, you feel me, the pandemic happened, and it's just it's like more and more shit going on politically, more shit going on in the world, more shit going on personally. So I think it's very much just shit Wasteland. It's this this post-pandemic like culmination of fucking I guess despair, but still hopefulness, but still lust and leisure. With, you feel me, them classic elements of drug, sex, and rock and roll. It's very like, man, it's like fuck it, fuck everything. I don't give a shit about nothing, but still like, man, like when I'm by myself, I think about so much shit, but just give me another E-pill, like type of shit.
Last thing, your superpower. What is it that you can do better than other people that has led to your success?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I can't really call it. I don't. Shit, I wish I knew. I have no fucking clue. I have no idea. I don't, bro. Like I feel like I'm not. I personally feel like I'm not the best at anything, but
you're good at a lot of things.
But that makes me like so fucking good though. Like I don't really know what the fuck it is. I don't know what it is about my songs that people like so fucking much. I don't know what it is about.
You don't know?
Nah, bro. I don't be knowing. I make what I like. So I'm just kind of moving based off of the person that I want to be. I'm my favorite artist. I just think I'm ill just because I think I'm ill. I don't really have a reason why. So I guess maybe other people feel that way too.
But do you envision, if I wasn't me, what would I want to hear?
Yeah, hell yeah.
If I was a kid, like whatever.
So I mean, I guess I know why people feel it, why people fuck with it. But it's not nothing I can physically describe. It's just like a bounce. It's a feeling. It's just a certain like energy, a certain attitude to it. So I guess I got good ears. You know what I mean? I think that might be my superpower. I think I'm really good at gauging what sounds good, what looks good, what makes sense, what's gonna be palatable, what's gonna be like. I'm good with taste. I say that's my superpower.
But I like that you are your favorite artist.
Yeah,
that's dope because you deserve that. You need that confidence to get up and go do it.
Oh hell yeah! In my brain, I'm the fucking best. Like it ain't nobody fucking with me, but. I can understand why, if we're talking technical ability, motherfuckers would be like, I like them, I like them, I like that makes sense. Music is all subjective, it's all art, so you're gonna like whatever the fuck you like. But personally, I feel like when it comes to taste, I'm able to like gauge like what's the shit. Like I'm able to be like, yeah, that's lame. No, that's hard. Like that's when I'm picking out sounds, I feel like that's a lot of things too. Shit, it's your ears. Like when you sing. It's like I can know that that's not the note for that, but this is the note for that. And technically, it might not be the right note, but this is the note for this. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It don't really make no sense. It's like a feeling, I guess. But I think it's that, which is why like it'd be motherfuckers who've been doing this shit way longer than me that still checking with me like, hey, bro, what you think about this? Like, how you feel about it? You know what I'm saying?
Because you got the ear.
Yeah.